Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Jacob Adams.
I'm Caden Sledge.
And this is Word in the World.
Oh man, I'm so excited to get this started up.
This is something else. We're filming this on College Football Game Day 2020. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide all the way.
So people are gonna say, "Oh, you're the bandwagon," you know. No, we live in Alabama. This is us. This is T-Town Tuscaloosa Nation. We're gonna have a football party, but before, we wanted to just film our first video. I mean, we've been hyping this up forever, and finally getting around to do it. Caden, what you got?
I mean, before we get started, now, all you guys are like, "Ew, y'all are Bama fans." Me myself, I like Auburn when they don't play Alabama. So don't come at me. I'm an Auburn fan when they don't play Alabama.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, there's a bunch of people that have graduated from our school that they play Texas A&M, they play in Tennessee. You know, I don't only pull for, okay, that's kind of weird. I pull for Bama always, but I'll pull for other teams when they're not playing Bama. You know?
So we've got some awesome stuff we're going to talk to you about today. Again, welcome to the first podcast, the name Word in the World. Tell them what Word in the World is, man.
Word in the World. We started this podcast. It was News Junkies in Florence, Alabama. We started it on an app called Anchor, and it was great, you know. But we felt like we wanted to do more, so we decided to video camera. So we decided to video ourselves talking, and now we're going to give messages. Because, you know, we're both Christians, and we just love to serve the Lord in many ways as we can. So we're going to give messages on this podcast, video podcast, whatever you want to say. We're going to have special guests coming on. I mean, this is going to be a project from... I don't even know what. There's not words with what we have planned. I have a whole notebook in my room of what I want to do, and a lot of it we probably won't be able to, but a lot of it we are going to make a way into doing it.
Now, you guys are probably asking yourself, what is News Junkies in Florence, Alabama? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's still out there, but we're not doing that anymore, sadly. But basically what it was is some Florence news. This is worldwide news. That's why Word in the World. So Florence, we talked about the games, and it actually just started off one night. I came home and was like, Jacob, why don't we start a podcast?
Right.
And it was just like that, and we did it that night. So it wasn't very planned, but we have spent about 2 months planning this out. We have a website that you can go down and go to.
The website is somewhere on the screen right now. It's also in the description, and it's also in the channel page, so you can go to that.
So basically what's in there is our social media. We have a page that you can actually go fill out, and you can come on the show. We'll talk to you about it, and like you said, we'll have special guests. You're wondering where we are. I'd like to call this home base.
Yeah.
Home base this is when we are together and we're doing this, and you're going to see some podcasts that we're not together.
Yeah, we're going to be doing it virtually. A lot of podcasts are going to be virtual, and especially when we have our guest on. Now, there's going to be sometimes, there's a guest that I'm thinking about right now, no spoilers, that he lives in Ohio and or Oklahoma. I can't remember which one, but he's going to have to video himself and his audio and send it to me so I can add it to ours. And we're going to have to do that over the computer, of course.
So, like you said, special guest, virtual most of the time, but some guys here in the hometown, we might have them here.
Definitely.
I'd like to do that to at least sometimes, to have them here. We might have a different setup when we have guests, just because we got to all fit in the screen for y'all.
Right.
But I'm very, very excited to start this thing off. It took months, and actually the backstory to starting this off, I was laying in the pool one day, and I just thought to myself, man, wouldn't that be awesome? So I actually gave Jacob a call in the pool.
Yeah, he did. He was in the pool, and he told somebody to get his phone for him, and he had his phone. It was like, I just thought of something. It laid on me, you know? So when he said that, I was like, okay, we can try to set something like that up. So I got on my computer and did my wizardry, and here we are.
Here we are, getting ready to start this thing off. Basically what we're going to do today is I'm going to give a little lesson at the beginning. Then Jacob is actually going to share his story. And then I'll have a little mini lesson at the end, and that's going to be today's. Basically the first podcast, again, like I said, his story. The second one will be mine. And then from there on out, we are going to start this thing up for real.
Cool. Let's get to the lesson.
So I'm going to actually pull this quote up. Let me find it real quick before y'all.
This is this quote. Every lesson we have, we've consulted with each other, and I have 2 messages back there that I'm ready to share. One for his next video and his story, and one that we're gonna have a regular podcast on. I have 2 of those ready to go, and we've shared them with each other, and we've polished them up to make them the best they can be.
So I have the quote here. You'll see me looking down at my phone so I can see this. The quote is, "We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars." This quote is by Oscar Wilde. Now, I've gone back and forth with Jacob with this quote forever. I found it a couple months ago. Been going through him. I'm like, man, you were in the gutter. You need to be looking at the stars. So what you need, you're probably thinking, what is this man talking about the gutter and the stars? So that's where this lesson is going to start off. The gutter, before we even start, put down in the comments or whatever what you think the quote means. But I'm going to tell you, the gutter means the problems, illness and all this bad stuff that's going through your life, and you like to be stuck in it, and you like to stay in the gutter. But
coronavirus isn't helping that.
No, not at all. But the stars is when you're looking at the goals, when you want to succeed in life, you think of the happy, and you think of everything that's fixing to happen. You're not thinking of the past. As I say that, I want you guys to know the past don't matter at all.
Right.
Anything that's happened in the past, you need to wake up tomorrow and say today's a new day. I've had these problems. A couple years ago, I'll share in the second episode, something bad. It's just something that's going to happen in some people's lives. A lot of my friends have had it happen, but I was in the gutter a lot. Now looking back at this quote, I was in the gutter every single day, and I took it out on people. And that's one thing I don't want you guys to do, is take it out on anybody else. Because when you take it out on anybody else, they're going to look at you and say, you know what, since you're taking all your problems out on me, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Because they want to be in the stars, and you want to be in the gutter, and the gutter and the stars don't match. The stars, if you want to be in the stars, you need to be happy. Anything in the past, just let it go. I'm now in the stars. So anything in my past, I've let it go. Maybe it comes back to me sometimes. But I try my best each day to let it go, and I try to not take it out on Jacob or anybody else. And I know I've took it out on Jacob before.
Oh, and I've done the same thing. I mean, everybody does that every now and then. We're all human. We can't. That's just how we're wired. We can't help that, and it's sad, but we're not perfect, and that's being perfect is one of my lessons that I will share in the future. About. I'll go deeper into it and what it means. But, I think everybody in the world has had that moment,
And like you just said, sometimes you can't control the stuff that happens. But one thing to keep in mind is that you can control your actions. You can't let somebody else control your actions, because when you let somebody control your actions, you end up where you don't want to be. You'll end up in jail. You'll end up on the streets and other places. But if you control your actions and calm down, you're going to end up in the better. And it's just, basically what this lesson is saying is you guys don't need to be in the gutter, because that's just going to lead you to all this crap that's going to happen, and then you're going to end up with nobody, is basically what I'm saying. So I want you guys to stay in the stars, stay humble, stay kind, and one lesson that I have in my mind that I'll give soon is treat your elders respectfully. Keep that in mind. Because when you are in the gutter and you take it down the elders, and then they pass on, you won't be able to say bye to them. And then all this stuff you said and they leave, you won't be able to say sorry.
Crazy.
So that's that lesson. Again, here's the quote for you. We're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking in the stars. Guys, look in the stars, try your best, and get out of the gutter. Again, stay humble and stay kind. That's basically that lesson.
That's it. Caden, fantastic lesson. Hey, I've heard that lesson. He's given me that lesson twice now, and I can still listen to it again and again and again. On our Instagram TV now, it was actually, we were live, but on our Instagram TV, which will be in the description, he gave a little insight on that, and that's what he was saying. It's going to be on this podcast. I love that quote and I love that lesson. It's fantastic. Caden, you did a great job writing that lesson. But now, this is what the video is. This is the main point. This is my story. So on our website, it says something along the lines of, my life was great for the first 13 years, kind of. And then I was able to hand my life to the Lord. And what I mean by that is, I've had of course everybody has their own problems, but overall my life was really, it was good, I thought it was good. I was always respectful to adults and people with higher authority than me, but the way I talk to my peers, and Caden can vouch for me on this, it was terrible, and I don't hide from it no more. I'll admit to you, every single sentence that I said used to had a cuss word in it, did it not?
Oh, it did, and it was kind of hard to take in.
Yeah, at the time I didn't think nothing of it. Everybody around me cussed, and it never fazed me that it was bad, so I really don't have words to explain to you how bad I was, but it all changed when I was, it was 2018, so I had to be 14 at the time. I went to church for the first time. It was on a Wednesday night. I go to Highland Baptist Church. I went to go see my friends, and I never really had a relationship with God before really anything. I believed in God, but I never had a relationship with Him. And I went to church, and that night we were talking about, cussing. And I remember the verse. It was Ephesians 4, verse 29. It's on the screen right now. You can read that. Ephesians 4, verse 29. And, it just kind of dawned on me. And that night that I went, I was saved. And that was in August. That was in August of 2018, and I was just learning how to be a Christian, and it was hard. It was really hard. Every time somebody would say something about God, my hands would get sweaty, and my heart, I'd feel my heart rate would race, I'd feel butterflies, and I didn't know what that meant until I asked somebody about it. I asked my youth pastor, and he said it's just that God was working. God was working on me at that moment, making me better, forgiving me of everything in my past, and giving me new life, if you will, So He was giving me new life. He was forgiving me. And, He can do the same thing to you. If you want to be saved and you don't know what you need to do to be saved, it's not hard. I'm going to share it with you right now. If you just pray and say, God, please forgive me of all my sins, and let me have a new life. Put your Son Jesus into my life. Help me be more like Him. He'll do it. Hands down, He'll do it. God loves us. I have a couple verses that I'll share with you on screen right now about being saved. Fantastic verses, you know. So really, it's just a matter of you asking him, and he'll do it in your favor. When I was learning to become a Christian, you know, this happened in November. I didn't go to church. I did not go to Wednesday night church until January of 2019. You know, I didn't talk to any of my church friends. I didn't talk to no adults at my church. I was completely cut off because I got overwhelmed. I got overwhelmed with it. And I said, no, I can't do this. But I did go back to church, and they helped me through it. And on March 24th, 2019, I was baptized. You know, and the absolute greatest feeling I've ever had in my life. I can't explain to you how that felt, being saved. Which baptism, to us, we don't believe baptism saves you. We believe you asking God for forgiveness saves you. We just think that baptism is a way to show it. Is a way to show that you've been saved. But definitely, I mean, that's pretty much all I got for you. That's my story, how I've turned from where I was to now. That's all I got.
That same thing can happen to you guys, like you said. I mean, I encourage you. I know some of you guys are at home and you don't go to church, but if you can, I encourage you to go. Get some of your buddies, you know, anybody that goes to church, say, hey, I'd like to come try it out, and you get out there, because it's amazing. Because I went to church when I was little, and then I didn't go forever.
Yeah.
And then we went back, and then, I mean, it was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Right.
And I'll get more into that on the second episode, but that finishes his off. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to give this a little mini.
Well, let me interrupt you real quick.
Oh,
If you need help, reach out to us.
oh yeah.
We have a Twitter. We have an Instagram. We have a on our website. There's a way that you can fill out a form to be a guest on this show, and I have a comment box to just tell us whatever you want. If you don't want to be a guest on this show and you just want to reach out to us, fill it out and fill out that comment box. Reach out to us any way that you can find out. If you have, I mean, it's just, if you need to talk to somebody, we will talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to find a church home, we will find you a church home. If you live in Connecticut and I've never heard of your city before, I will research your city and find the churches that you need to be in, just to get you somewhere, you know, just to make sure that you have a home, a church home.
Yep, and I mean, that's me and him things that you contact us and we're going to help you like that. It's one thing that me and Jacob both love to do is help people in need, and it's just something, it's one of the things that I really enjoy to do.
That's
just
right.
Help anybody out there that needs help. You got anything else?
I ain't got it.
So I'm going to give this little mini lesson. It's not much. It's going to be quick. It just popped in my head right when we wanted to start this, and I wrote it down because it actually happened. It's about friends, actually. Really, the only thing that this thing I'm giving is don't be the friend that goes behind your best buddy's back and starts talking about them. Because, I mean, let's put this in a scenario. All right, I'm Kate.
Yeah.
All right.
Me
and Jacob haven't known each other since babies, but say me and Jacob were like tight since birth. And so we went to preschool, kindergarten, all the way up to, let's say, 8th grade. And we're going to school, and I get confirmation that Jacob's talking behind my back.
Yeah, you're fat.
I get confirmation he's talking behind my back. And so I go up to Jacob and I'm like, hey, man, are you talking behind my back? And he lies to me.
Yeah.
And says no. I said, okay. And somebody secretly videos Jacob talking behind my back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be that person. Because
not the person to video.
No, not
don't be the person to
don't be the person to talk behind somebody's back. Because when you get there there's more stuff that leads on to that. You talk behind the back, okay? Person you're talking about goes out and says, hey, this guy's talking behind my back. He's not a good guy. Well, all the guys that are friends with him are going to leave him because they know that he's talking behind somebody's back, that he's probably going to do it to them. And that's what pops in their head, and they leave you. Well, we don't stop there. People think, okay, they left me, they're not coming back. If they listen to God and they take it in, it could take days, weeks, months, years. They might be back.
Amen.
So don't give up. That's basically what I'm saying right now is don't give up. Talk to God about it. Pray. And sooner or later, they might be back in your life.
Exactly right.
It's not like for sure, but if you pray and talk to God and believe, they might be back in your life. So basically what I'm saying is don't go talk behind somebody's back, but if somebody leaves you, don't give up.
That's right.
That's basically
That's all you got?
I mean, it was quick, like I said. It just popped in my head, and I thought I'd say that. Just don't be that person.
Amen.
And you know what else could go with that? Don't be in the gutter.
Amen.
Because if you're in the gutter, that's probably going to happen.
Oh yeah.
So those two lessons could match up.
Definitely.
That's basically all I got.
That's it. Cool. We're gonna wrap this video up. Thank you for staying here. If you've made it this far in the video, comment I made it. You know.
Say
I
it.
love, you know. Oh, this is great.
Before we end this off, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
I hope y'all enjoy the game.
Yeah.
We're gonna get this podcast out as soon as we can. It's gonna take a little bit,
Yeah.
but it'll be out. Can't wait for you. Thank you for watching. For real, we really enjoyed doing this. It's took months, but since we got this first episode, as soon as we get this one out, it's gonna be rapid fire,
That's it.
and we're ready for that. So stay tuned for special guests coming up. Not the next episode, but after that, we might have somebody. But just stay tuned for all the future. Can't wait to get it started. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
And yeah, so thank you for watching. I'm Caden Sledge.
And I'm Jacob Adams.
And this is Word in the Word.